So this is obviously some sort of metaphor or something. Like trees like my feelings. Guess I am the tree. I have strong roots. I know who I am. Just have to figure out what my future is gonna be. Bonsai. I'm the Cobra. Bonsai. Sorry. It's just. Today we're talking about Robby Keene, so it's not that happy of a topic. A lot of stuff went on. And by the way, since we're talking about Robby today, I tried to style my hair like Robby. It's not really going so well, but whatever. It's okay. You guys get the idea. Why is my shirt? Okay. Bonsai! I'm the Cobra Kai Kid, and welcome to the Cobra Kai Kid. Today we are going to be talking about what is in store for Robby Keene in Season 3. What does the future hold for him? Especially after that Season 2 finale. She's not looking so good. So, in Season 1, when we first met Robby, he was a delinquent. You know, he had no father. Johnny wasn't there for him. I'm trying to make it like Robby. I'm Robby, by the way. Just trying to... Okay. In Season 1, he was a delinquent. He had no father because Johnny wasn't there for him. He basically had no mother. His mother wasn't there for him either. All he could do was hang out with a bunch of bad kids, bad influences, and he was influenced by their badness. So then he met Daniel LaRusso, and at first the plan was to get revenge on his dad, piss off his dad by hanging out with LaRusso and getting a job there. He thought it would piss his dad off, but then he really started to learn from Mr. LaRusso and become a better person as a result. So he definitely he was changing for the better. He definitely went from a bad kid with no influences to a better kid with a good influence in Daniel, who was teaching him to go down a good path, you know, when Robby's never had that influence before, but now he was finally getting the influence. So we were happy for him. And by the time that tournament came in episode 10 of Season 1, you know, the whole show we're following Miguel, who's the protagonist, but then when you get to the tournament, Robby becomes like the protagonist, and it's kind of crazy how they executed that so well, you know. I love Miguel. Miguel's my favorite character, but by the time the 10th episode comes in Season 1, you don't want Miguel to win because he's a jerk. You want Robby to win because he's the good guy in this case. So then, you know, Season 2 comes. Robby's obviously training with Daniel. Still not that perfect. He's still got a lot of flaws. He's very quick to judge, very cocky. He's really cocky, actually. He thinks he's like so much better than everyone else. He was when the new Cobra Kais, this is what I always didn't like, when the new Cobra Kais came to Miyagi-Do, when they switched over and they said, we don't want to do Cobra Kai, we want to learn Miyagi-Do karate. Robby was like, no, they're not going to change. Once Cobra Kai, always Cobra Kai. But what happened to Robby? He was a delinquent. And, you know, Daniel could have said, oh, no, you're a bad kid. Like, you can't change. Or you're Johnny's son. You can't change. Even though he didn't know that. But Robby did change. And Robby wouldn't even give these other kids a chance. And those kids weren't even that intimidating. Like, you know, it wasn't like Hawk and Miguel switching sides. It was like Nate and like the kid with the red hair and like, you know, not that big threats. Like Robby could easily beat them up if they were trying to do something bad. So I think, you know, even though I think Robby thinks he's the good guy. He thinks he's doing good stuff, but at the same time, he's very cocky and arrogant. And yeah, but at the same time, there was really one moment in the show in season 2 where I really felt bad for him, and I really I didn't relate to him, but it really connected me more to his character in season 2, episode 3. Yeah, it was episode 3 when his mom left him to go with Rick to go to Combo or something. That's what they said, but I forgot. I don't know where that is. The mom and her new boyfriend were like leaving Robby all by himself, and you know he's kind of used to that because the mom's always leaving him, Shannon. But and then as soon as she leaves him, the scene right away cuts to him punching the punching bag at Miyagi-Do, and it's like, wow, like this guy, like look at this kid, like he's releasing all his anger, and he has no one to talk to. You know, he's so angry now, but he has every right to be. He doesn't have a family, so that part when it cut to him punching the punching bag, like really hard and violent, like because he was so angry of what happened, that really connected to me. That really connected me to his character. That was the one, not the one time, but that was one of the biggest standouts to me about that made me actually feel sympathetic for him. So then we get to closer to the end of season 2. Well, first there's another part where Miguel returns the Medal of Honor in episode 7. My bad. In episode 7, Miguel returns the Medal of Honor to Robby, and what does Robby do? He doesn't tell Sam, and he hides it in the backyard. Sure, he came clean to her in episode 10, but like that was after all that stuff that went down. Like he's just very selfish and very insecure and very I don't know. So that part kind of pissed me off, because now Sam liked him, you know, because of that. And I mean, him and Sam were always like kissing. It was like so cheesy. It was like, I mean, it was like nice though. Like it was like nice because like they're both like nice people, I guess, overall, you know. But at the same time, like I don't know, it's kind of too much. But then we get closer in the series, you know, Robby's like really connected to Sam, and Robby thinks that Sam is like over Miguel and just likes him, but Sam is still kind of like Miguel. She misses Miguel, and then by episode 9, you know, she kisses Miguel, and Robby's like, when Robby finds out in 10, he's pissed at Miguel and Sam, but like, you know, that whole fight breaks out, and you know what pisses me off is that Miguel was trying to stop the fight. Miguel didn't want to fight Robby. He just wanted to stop Sam and Tori. He wanted to help both of them, but meanwhile Robby was so angry with Miguel. He's trying to fight him like every second he got, you know. Like Robby was so angry. Like learning under Miyagi-Do, Robby should have been the one to just split up the fight between Sam and Tori, and not even worry about Miguel. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that was both of them. You know, Miguel too was like so trying. He was just fighting Robby, but I mean, you could see Miguel was like turning his head sometimes, like he wanted to help Tori and Sam. So that was like, yeah. So then we get to we get to the end of season 2. What I do is I finish Cobra Kai and then I rewatch it because I love it so much. I finish it and then I rewatch it because it's my favorite show in the universe. Nothing's better than it. Yeah. So, and like I'm the type of person that could rewatch shows a million times. So, and with Cobra Kai, it's like the best show ever. So I could rewatch that and never get sick of it. So, man, I think I'm gonna cry just talking about it. I finished Cobra Kai season 2 today for the millionth time. Literally like an hour before I made this. This is what kind of like watching it made me like I need to make a video. So, and I swear to God, every time Robby kicks Miguel off that balcony. Oh yeah, spoilers. Sorry. Every time Robby kicks Miguel off that balcony, I literally start to cry. Like I'm not kidding. Like I'm even getting teary right now. Every time he kicks him off that balcony, I cry. I bawl. And then what really hits me is when the voicemail, when Johnny listens to Miguel's voicemail while he's looking at him in the hospital. Every time that gets me, no matter what, even if I watched it a million times, every time it gets me. It's so sad. It's just Johnny is like, that was his son. That was his other son. He was more of a son to Johnny than Robby. He had more of a relationship with Miguel than Robby. He was the son. Miguel was a son that Johnny never had because he never had Robby really. So, dang. And when Miguel pinned Robby down, when Miguel was pinning Robby down, you know, first off, they were fighting so close to the balcony that, to be fair, Miguel could have kicked Robby off the balcony. You know, like Miguel could have just as easily kicked Robby off the balcony, but at the same time, they were both fighting. In this case, you have Miguel pinning Robby down. It's over. Miguel won. Miguel has flashback to when Johnny said, "Look, I wasn't taught the difference between mercy and honor, and I paid the price for it. If I'm extra hard on you, it's only because you have the potential to be better than I ever was." And that gets me every time. And then Miguel lets go of Robby and says, "I'm sorry." And Robby, in anger, surprises Miguel, punches him, and then kicks him off the balcony. What the heck, Robby? What the heck? Why? Like, oh my God. Like, I love this show, and I just wish that everyone could be happy for, like, a couple seasons. Like, you know, like, I would have never thought that this would happen now. Like, Miguel, we're in season 2 and he's in a coma. That's insane. Well, season 3, I guess. But, like, you know, I thought it would just be, like, all, like, fun and games for a couple seasons. Then they get into the drama. But, like, no, they're, like, really, like, pushing the action. Like, look, I think the whole story was amazing. Like, you know, do I want Miguel in the coma? No, he's my favorite character and I love him. But at the same time, it helps the story. But at the same time, it's like, why? But at the same time, it's good for the story. You know, the story's brilliant. And unexpected. Who would have ever thought that would happen? You know? Like, that they would put their main character, Miguel, in a coma. He's like the main character. He's the main kid. It's not Robby. If Robby was in a coma, then people wouldn't care as much. No offense, Robby. I mean, I guess they would, but like not that much. Not as much as Miguel. So, now the question is, now Robby pushes Miguel off the balcony. The last time we see Robby, he's looking down. Sam says, "Robby, what'd you do?" And then Robby leaves. And what surprises me very much is they don't even, when we see Johnny at the hospital, we don't see him asking for Robby. We don't see Daniel asking for Robby. Daniel, I guess him and Robby aren't really anymore. But still, Johnny, you would think that Johnny would be asking and looking for his son. Even though Miguel's in the hospital, like, his son is MIA, right? That we know of. Robby could have just gone back to Johnny's house, but we don't know. So you have Johnny, who we see in a couple scenes at the beach, at the dojo, and is he looking for Robby? Does he know where Robby is? Because if not, I would be very surprised if he had just went to the dojo and the beach. Because even though he's sad about Miguel, he still has Robby. Don't you want to find out where Robby is? So I believe that the only way that it makes sense is if Johnny does know where Robby is. If Robby is with Johnny, that would be the only thing that makes sense, because Johnny, if Johnny didn't know where Robby was, he would have not been at the beach. He wouldn't have been at the dojo. He would have been looking for Robby, and he would have mentioned Robby, like he's looking for him. But it was probably off screen that Robby and Johnny met up or something, or that Robby was at Johnny's house or something. It has to be, or else it doesn't make sense. And these writers are way too smart to not make sense. Everything makes sense in the show. It's brilliant. Everything's brilliant. Brains Brief is brilliant. Sorry, that was from Impractical Jokers. If you guys watch Impractical Jokers, you'll get that reference. If you don't know what Impractical Jokers is, then I sound like a complete idiot. But so now you have Robby, who just runs away. And as I said before, the only explanation, because if you look at Johnny, who's not asking for him, it seems like he knows where Robby is, or else he would have been worried. Because we saw the aftermath. Johnny wasn't asking about Robby, so off screen they must have reconnected, and Robby's at Johnny's house now. So Johnny's most likely going to be raising Robby, which is going to be, oh my god, this is crazy. When we talk, I'm learning, I'm figuring things out too. If Johnny still lives in their apartment and he's neighbors with Carmen, Miguel's mom, and Robby's living with Johnny, the two people that put their son, because technically it was Johnny too, the two people that put her son in the hospital, or whatever, their neighbors, especially Robby. Robby should go to jail or something. And Carmen, if Carmen finds out that Robby's living right next door, then obviously she's gonna do something. But I don't know. I feel like they might move. I feel like Johnny and Robby might move or something. Unless there's trial. That's crazy to think, because how did Hawk and Tori just go back to the dojo? I wonder how long after that was. I'm a little curious. Did Tori and Hawk have to go to the hospital? They must have. I think that hospital scene to the dojo scene, there must have been a time gap. It couldn't have been Johnny just went right to the dojo. You know what I mean? Because Hawk and Tori were there, and they were all they were all in the hospital. Were they really just training right after that whole thing? I don't know. There must. I'm just trying to see if there was any time gap in those final scenes, or did they just happen right after each other? That leaves me thinking. I'm very curious, but it's all very interesting. So now Robby, if Johnny is raising Robby, then Johnny's obviously. I think Johnny. I don't know. I think Johnny's gonna kind of raise Robby like his son again. They're gonna be father son, but I think Robby's gonna kind of become not bad, but badly influenced. Like, you know, even though Johnny's taking care of Robby, I feel like Robby's gonna just not really be doing some bad stuff, maybe because he's like guilty, or maybe he'll be doing good stuff because he's guilty and he's trying to make amends. I'm not sure. I think he's just gonna fall off his path, Robby. I don't think he's gonna make amends right away. I think he's just gonna fall off his path, and I could see Hawk trying to like hunt him down or something and get revenge. That would be insane. I don't know. Man, we really need a trailer or some info. I know we're not gonna get a trailer until like next year, but there's so many things that are just we kind of need to know to make our theories. Like, how long is it taking place after? I don't think it's gonna take that long after, because the writers confirmed in an interview at Comic-Con that season 3 is gonna be like kind of like the aftermath of season 2. What's gonna happen to these characters after that whole incident? So it couldn't be that long, but it just makes me curious. There's just so much. But with Robby, I'm just not sure. I think he's not gonna be. Even though Johnny's gonna raise him, I think Johnny's gonna be struggling because of the whole Miguel thing. I think Robby's gonna be struggling because Johnny's not gonna be there for him to really help, to really help him out, because Johnny's got his own problems with Miguel and Carmen. So Robby's gonna probably maybe start hanging out with some bad guys, becoming a bad kid again, and I don't, like, everyone says they hate Robby. I don't hate Robby. He's there's no such, remember, once again, the whole theme of the show, there's no such thing as a bad student, only a bad teacher. And Daniel kind of inspired this a little, even though Daniel didn't mean for this, I don't think Johnny definitely didn't mean for this to happen. When at the mall when they had that fight, Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do, Sam was like, "Are you mad at us?" And Daniel's like, "No, I'm proud of you. Cobra Kai is not just about no, not Cobra Kai. Miyagi-Do is not just about self-defense. Miyagi-Do is not just about self-defense. It's about helping others." So, Robby was helping Sam from getting beat up, but then it went to the whole fight, so it's Daniel's fault as much as it is Johnny's, as much as it is Kreese, as much as it is Miguel. It's everyone's fault. Dang. I just watched that 10th episode. The acting is so great. Like Sam, Mary Mauser, who plays Sam, is unbelievable. Tanner Buchanan, I think that's his name. Yeah, Tanner Buchanan is also great, who plays Robby. All of them are great. Sholo Manaduena, it's amazing. I just hate what happened to Miguel. I think season 3 we're gonna have Sam taking care of Miguel. Obviously, that's a video for another time, but I think Sam's gonna kind of take care of Miguel while Robby's just gonna be doing his own thing. I think Robby's gonna be doing his own thing for the most part. We know Daniel's going back to Okinawa. I don't think Robby's gonna have anything to do with that. I think Robby's just gonna be Robby's gonna be on his own doing bad stuff. Johnny's gonna try and raise him. It's not really gonna work out because Johnny's got his own problems. Everyone has their problems, so it's just gonna be where it is right now. It seems like it's such a depressing thing. Like the season's gonna definitely start out very depressing, but I just hope that that's not the case. Even though the fight at the mall wasn't obviously it's a very serious fight. They're like literally beating the heck out of each other, but it was kind of like you guys, it was like kind of a fun little fight. It wasn't like the the school fight where someone ended up dead, or sorry, Miguel's not dead, but in the hospital. It was just like a little fight. So like I don't really know if we're gonna get. It just doesn't seem like it's like kind of like, how is this gonna get better? It's just crazy to think, how is this gonna get better, and how are they gonna? Because right now the whole show seems like it's just gonna. If this was like a real like show, it would seem like the whole season would be like trials and stuff. But obviously they're not gonna do that. I'm just very curious, and I really like think these writers are genius for doing what they did, because there's such an open canvas. Like season 2, I wouldn't say season 2 was predictable. Season 2 wasn't predictable, but let's be honest, it wasn't until episode 10 that the big twist happened, you know? There were a lot of surprising moments and a lot of moments that we didn't expect, but the big thing with the school fight, that was episode 10, you know? So in season 1, you know, you had some surprising stuff, but like, you know, when Kreese came back, you can infer, and with Daniel opening the dojo, which they implied, they set it up. Kreese came back, and that set up him being with Johnny to do something with the dojo, you know? Like, that implied that Kreese would come back to Cobra Kai. And then Daniel said, welcome to Miyagi-Do. Like, we're going to have to get new students. That implied that they were going to open Miyagi-Do, and then Sam was doing karate. That implied that Sam was going to join Miyagi-Do, and that happened. And, you know, the whole season was Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do, which we knew. You know, we knew that would happen. Obviously, we didn't know the whole story, and we didn't know what exactly was gonna happen, but we knew it was Miyagi-Do versus Cobra Kai. It wasn't that shocking. But now with this season, they literally end it on such a depressing state, and they don't tell us anything that will happen next. You have that little hint at the end where Allie's gonna come back, but other than that, like, you just don't know what's gonna happen. You can infer stuff, but they don't tell you. They don't say, we're going to have to get revenge on Cobra Kai, and then they end the season. Then, if they said that, you would know that the next season they would get revenge on Cobra Kai. But now, they don't tell you anything. So you just have a blank canvas. So I'm going to say my theories. I'm not going to write the whole script and get so detailed into it, because I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want to say, oh, this is gonna happen, and then when it doesn't happen, my expectations aren't fulfilled, because I don't care what happens. You hear that? I don't care. Well, no, I do care, but I don't care if what I think. I don't care what happens, because whatever happens, I know it's gonna be good. It's not like I don't care what happens. I do care about what happens. I want to watch it, but I 100% trust in them. If they could write a good episode or a good series or movie to save my life, I would put all my faith in their hands, because these writers are genius, and they really just grab your heart, and they have your hearts in this show. They take your heart, and they really just they play with your emotions, and they do it perfectly. My whole heart is invested in this show. I'm so invested in this show. I am invested with my life. My life for the past year has been all Cobra Kai. That's literally what my life is about now. What I kind of take, what I take from it. Whenever I'm stressed out, I always go back to Miyagi-Do and try to have balance, you know? When I'm angry, or when I'm scared, when I don't have confidence or whatever, I try to be tough like Cobra Kai and show no mercy when it comes to whatever I have to do. Show no mercy, strike first, strike hard. It really plays a factor in my life, and I just cannot wait for season 3. So, final thoughts. Robby is gonna come out of this. I think he's gonna start in a bad state, going back to what he did before in season 1 when he was hanging out with bad influences. I think by the end of season 2, my bad, 3. By the end of season 3, I think him and Daniel will rekindle their relationship, and then hopefully they open Miyagi Kai or whatever. And I know with everyone, the whole theory is that Daniel and Johnny will team up. Now, there's obviously so much to happen in this season because it's the aftermath of season 2. Daniel and Johnny aren't going to team up in the first episode. We already know that Daniel's going to Okinawa, so that's before any team up, you know. So if they team up, it's probably going to be late in the season or midway or going into season 4, you know, because there's definitely going to be season 4, but like, you know, they're not going to team up in episode 3. I'm saying if they team up, it will be like late, like episode 7. Maybe that's too late. Episode 5 latest, or 4 latest. 4 is the latest episode they will team up. They will not team up at all before those 3 episodes. I wouldn't even be surprised if they don't even interact in those 3 episodes, but I think they will. But I don't think they'll team up until 4, even later, because there's still so much yet again that they have to handle on their own before they could just team up and say, oh, let's take down Cobra Kai. Because, you know, you had Amanda Russo, Daniel's wife, saying no more karate. Look what this rivalry has done, and it's so true. I don't think Daniel's gonna just, like, she's not gonna just approve Daniel and Johnny teaming up against Kreese. That sounds freaking insane. It sounds insane. Oh, we gotta team up our dojos against Kreese. Like, it sounds insane. Like, I mean, if you're Amanda's point of view, if you actually know the backstory, you need to do that. Like, if you know the backstory, it's like, no, we have to stop Kreese. Like Amanda, like, you don't get it. He's actually evil. Like, I know you think this is all a joke, but this is actually, like, really life or death or whatever. So, my hair stopped coming like Robby's. But, yeah, so I cannot wait for that. I think, Robby was definitely, I think we're going to feel bad for him in the beginning of season 3. I think he's going to be in a bad state, whether he's sorry for his actions, which I think he is after he pushed Miguel off the balcony. I don't know. I think I'm not sure, you know, he could either, there's 2 ways he could go. He could either go back to his original way of being a delinquent, or he could be trying to make amends, which I don't think he's going to do right away. Because without Daniel, he's not going to be on the right path. But even though Daniel kind of the reason this all happened, Johnny too, both of them. But it's very interesting to see. We're definitely going to find out more in the interviews, in exclusives, and I will definitely keep you guys in. So we just had a 33-minute discussion about Robby Keene in Cobra Kai. I can't wait to talk about the next character. Maybe we'll talk about Johnny. Maybe we'll talk about Daniel, Miguel, Sam, Dimitri, Hawk, Aisha, Tori, Stingray, Bert, Nathaniel, Chris, Mitch, Amanda, Anthony, Mr. Palmer, Vice Prince, the Counselor Blatt, Yasmin, Moon. Yeah, I'm just naming a bunch of names. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait till the next video. We'll talk about whatever we want to talk about. Before we get into season 3 of Cobra Kai, there's a lot to talk about. So we'll definitely do all the talking. Comment what you want me to talk about next. Is there a certain character, just like how this episode was about Robby, and what I think Robby's going to be like in season 3, what his future looks like. So is there another character you want me to talk about, what I think is going to happen to them in season 3? Or is there a certain storyline you want me to address? Is there any questions, any theories you want me to address? Anything. Comment down below and we'll just talk for however long, just like this, because that's the way of the fist. Oh, I forgot I am wearing my Miyagi-Do. I mean, that is the way of balance. So, to end it off, I'm the Cobra Kai kid. Thank you so much for watching. See you later. Oh, no, that's not my quote. Remember, defeat does not exist in this dojo. Or, no, that's not my quote. My quote is, that was Star Wars Theory's quote. Why did I get confused? My quote is Cobra Kai never dies. I think the music's like throwing me off. Like I was just listening to music and trying to talk at the same time. Yeah, that's not my quote. Because I was just watching a Star Wars Theory video. Not Star Wars Theory, Cobra Kai Theory. I'm blabbering now, so I'm just going to end this. Remember, I'm the Cobra Kai kid, and Cobra Kai never dies. That's my quote. That's the quote.